Hello everyone, this is Shannon Flummerfelt for Flip Schools. Welcome to Understanding Instruction series. This short video is for building administrators and it's in a series of 5, so I encourage you to listen to all 5. This particular one, we're just going to focus on identifying stakeholders of instruction and why that's important, especially as you work with flipping the classroom and flipping your school. We need to make sure we understand at all times who our stakeholders are, who it is that we're trying to serve. So first of all, let's start with the definition. What are stakeholders? Well, stakeholders are key people who either receive or participate in instructional processes. We may find that stakeholders of instruction are students, faculty, administrators, parents. We even find that the state departments of education are key stakeholders of education. So it's important to get that out on the table and understand who these stakeholders are. If it's a student, if it's a parent, if it's a faculty member, we'll take a quick look at these as examples. And the reason why it's important to understand stakeholders, because if these are the key people who are receiving and participating in instruction, we need to be able to take on their perspective and to understand what it is that works for them, what's valuable for them, and what's not. And this will really help us as we move forward. Now, when you move into the flip school environment or flipping classes, these are some of the issues that are going to begin to come forth, because flipping changes around some of the roles a little bit, some of the rules of traditional classroom instruction, some of the relationships. And so to be able to be very clear about who we're serving and what it is that they value in the instructional process is a really key issue to think about as you move into flipping the classroom. So for instance, let's say that students are our stakeholders. And of course, students are the ultimate stakeholder of instruction. I mean, all of our mission statements would say this, and we would all just say this as our professional credo, that, we serve students. And so we need to begin to think about, what does this mean? If students are our stakeholders of instruction, then we need to be able to think about what instruction looks like from their perspective. And so we begin to pose the question, what is value added for students to do in the process of instruction? And as we look around and begin to examine the process of instruction and walk in the shoes of students as stakeholders, the viewpoint becomes a little bit different. Some of the things that perhaps as an administrator that you might think are real important might mean nothing to a student. And on the other hand, there are some things that mean a lot to students that administrators might not even think of. So when we pose this question of who is your stakeholder of instruction, we do that because you want to be able to think about flipping your school and doing it from the standpoint of creating value for your stakeholders, in this case, the students. Same thing might be true for parents. Parents are key stakeholders in education. We know that in many cases, the flipped classroom and the flipped school model is really helpful for parents who are not engaged as stakeholders of instruction. This is kind of a way to support students who may not have the parental support at home that they need. And even for those parents who are interested in education and instruction, but maybe don't understand the material and can't really help their students, again, the flip technology might be a real value add for them. But we have to understand that, is it truly a value add? If we recognize parents as stakeholders of instruction, what is value added for them? And again, there are always several stakeholders here in the process of instruction. Faculty are key stakeholders as well. They are obviously the suppliers, the deliverer of instruction, and so we need to really be able to think about what's value added for them. And, you know, you can introduce the most effective type of instruction, but if it's not efficient for faculty who have, you know, a limited amount of time and everything's very structured, then it's not value added. I know that, for instance, you know, many schools struggle with block scheduling and those kinds of changes in terms of how time is used because it's hard for faculty to see the value add in that. And so there's a real mismatch there. So again, we need to think about this. If we're going to move to a flipped technology, faculty have to be able to experience a value add. So walking in the shoes of the faculty member, what does it look like in a flipped classroom? What is the experience like for faculty, and where are the value added points? So again, we're thinking about all these things, and in one of these videos I'm going to show you a tool called a value stream map where you can lay all this out a little more clearly. But as we think about these stakeholders of instruction, it's very important to consider what is value added for them. And if you want more information about flipping, there's a Flip Institute website. You can get to it by going to theflipinstitute.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video.